Hello, and here we are for the penultimate round of AOR Season 15 PC Assisted League 1. And it takes us to USA, which actually has been a really good track for me in recent times. It's probably one of my favourite tracks on the game, even so Sector 1 sort of spoils it, because a bit like Japan, it's really suited to the wheel. So again, me and Jaeger was set to struggle compared to the other wheel runners in this league. So you can see it already, I can't seem to hook up these corners as well as some of the wheels runners do, so actually taking quite low gears through the corners. And you can see my banking lap was only good enough for P9, which puts us ahead of Llama, but behind Jaeger, who is probably our the guy we're going to try to beat. Even so, again, I'm not really expecting too much from this, considering I've been consistently at the back in the last few races. I was quite lucky to nab a 6th place at Japan because of everyone else's retirements, but I really have not been on the pace this season, which is a shame considering how good a season I had last time out, in which I actually took the title fight all the way to Brazil. But now we're going to be heading into Brazil, and we're probably going to be the worst full-time runner in this league if we lose out to Horvey today, who's only a few points behind us. So I think we've also had a few more races than Horvey, so I really wanted to just try to beat him at the end of the season, and so at least I could say I beat somebody. But here we are now, and we're actually a few tenths up, but you might have seen over the course of the lap, again, we've got a bit of lag back, and we had a problem last time out with freezing, and I really don't know what it is, because I mean, I've got a new computer which runs the game really smoothly in ultra settings, but I don't know if it's connection or what, because I live in the UK, and I think our host Llama lives in Germany, so so again, I'm not exactly too close to him, but yeah, lag really cost us about 4 tenths, and yeah, we still probably weren't going to beat Jaeger. I think we were capable of maybe doing a low 34, so we could have put it among Jaeger and Horvey, but yeah, once again, we're starting 9th. We're going to have to start on the Ultra Softs because we qualified in the top 10, only 10 people actually today, so that should be a good chance of points. If I can just aim for another 6th or something, that would be really good. But you can see, it's going to be an easy one-stop. Ultras onto Softs, even so we have to start on quite worn Ultras. So you can see there, just trying to tamper around with the strategy a bit. And we're also going to start with quite a bit more fuel than usual. Just experiment it out, see if it's useful or something. But yeah, I just wanted to compare the times from the 1-stop and the 2-stop, because I don't know if you've watched some of my earlier videos, but around here in THL and AOR, I did the 1-stop, and both times the winner did the 2-stop, and I came second in both, third in both scenarios. Here we are now from 9th on the grid, and we get an alright start. You can see Llama's already up our inside, and yeah, once again heading into turn 1, I'm going to be quite cautious, something I really need to work on next season. Not really got too much confidence on the traction, and hence, yeah, I don't really want to be going side by side with people, especially because of the contact nature of this game. So I'm sort of hoping to be much more aggressive come season 16, and hopefully I'll be able to master traction, because I'm going to be forced to go no assists for TGL, which is basically a new league which THL is setting up. But you can see already Llama, we're just going to slot into position. There's not really been much action off the start, but you can see Horvey's actually made a bit of a mistake under traction at the end of Sector 1. That's going to allow Llama up the inside, and I thought I was going to follow him through. Haven't made many moves this season, so I may as well make a few this race. You can see already Horvey actually going to be on the outside, but we're going to actually have quite a good run. We're going to try to tuck into the slipstream of Llama and see if we can pull it alongside, but Horvey's actually just got the legs on us. But again, towards the end of the straight, we've got slightly higher top end speed, and this might be one of our first legitimate overtakes in a matter of weeks, to be honest, because we normally don't have the pace to really compete with the front runners, and normally I'm way too cautious on that one. But you can see we're up into 9th out of 10th, and we were able to keep them behind a few laps. But you can see actually again just losing a bit of traction through Sector 1, and this was really a recurring theme. I mean, you can see the likes of Llama up ahead is beginning to pull away a bit because of that Sector 1. I just couldn't nail it because it's so hard to on the controller. But you can see Llama up ahead, he's binned it into the wall, and that's not the first time this season. I think that's the 3rd or 4th. So it's really gifted us a position there, and he's a long way behind. So yeah, we should at least have 9th in the bag. Even so, I can never really take that for granted, considering my lack of pace in recent weeks. But yeah, we got Horvey all over the back of us now, and that's actually 7, who's actually made a mistake. He's actually dropped back a bit because he was fighting with the likes of Jaeger up front. But you can see that he blocks us off a bit inadvertently. That allows Horvey straight past. Horvey's going to try to go up his inside. We're going to try to go around the outside. We're going to have to get the traction, but we actually managed to get the car straight up. And for once, we actually out-traction somebody, but it was on the outside, so it's much easier to do it there. and we actually managed to get the position once we get slipstream on 7. But we're not done there. We're going to try to get 7 as well. He's looked a bit slow this lap, but of course still recovering from the spin. In this game, I mean, it's really hard to get traction after you make a mistake like that. So you can see, trying to put 7 under pressure. We're going to try to go for a cutback, force him narrow. He's going to get a bit spooked. He's going to go slightly narrow. He's going to leave us the room. We're not on the outside, but we're going to try to do a switchback now. We're going to try to get a good run, but it's not looking like we're going to be able to get him. And yeah, even if we did get alongside, we weren't going to hold it around the outside. But actually, on lap 6, 7 opts to pit. So obviously, he's trying an undercut on Jaeger, and of course, he's got the pace to do it. He's second in the championship right now. Of course, he is going to try to defend that position from Stefanator. He still has a championship chance, so of course he's trying everything he can. Meanwhile, we're trying everything we can to hold him from Horvey, who is our closest championship rival. And I mean, at the time I wasn't really thinking about points or anything, but I just wanted to beat somebody. I mean, I haven't done that the last few weeks. I mean, I've had an absolute I had quite a good race at Japan, even so I still lost out to pretty much everyone apart from Entity, who made a mistake. But you can see into the pit lane, Horvey's nowhere to be seen, and all of a sudden he's lost about 7 seconds to us. I don't know if he's made a mistake, I don't know if he's got into the back of us, but yeah, I mean, all of a sudden we actually just inherit, well, not inherit, but we get we'll get the position by quite a margin now. We should be able to actually keep us ahead, even so we've got 19 laps left, so if Horvey can pull something out the bag, he can definitely catch us. But you can see he's not even in his pit box yet, so we've definitely got about a 10-second gap to him. And you can see as we go to the next split, we're actually quite close to Jaeger, only about 7 seconds. And yeah, Horvey all the way back there. So if the gap to Jaeger is about 7 seconds, it's probably at least about 14-15 seconds to Horvey. And as you cross the line to begin lap 12, you can see again we've actually dropped a bit further back from Jaeger this time. So yeah, our pace again not really there. But you can see Horvey again nowhere near us. So we should have this P8 in the bag. Even so, I still need to really focus because Horvey did have the legs on me in qualifying by about 8 tenths. But you can see actually 12 seconds, and with 16 laps to go, all we need to do is be within 8 tenths of Horvey's lap time, and we should be able to hold him off. But you can see on lap 24 though, that wasn't actually the case. He was actually catching us in some cases by over a second a lap. And yeah, you can see I'm getting slightly spooked now towards the end of the race, and we head on to lap 25. He's within 2 seconds, so we've been able to keep it at about that 8 tenths a lap. But once he gets close into in DRS range, we are going to be in a lot of trouble. And sure enough, on lap 26, he's actually caught right up to us. So yeah, this is probably going to be quite humiliating if Horvey manages to get past us, considering we had a 12-second buffer over him after the pit stops. And yeah, you can see we're nowhere near Jaeger. We're about 20 seconds behind them now. So we're well off everyone's pace in the field. So yeah, I've almost haven't improved at all since my Assistant League 2 days when I was actually near the front. So yeah, and Horvey gets us, and we really didn't put up much of a fight there. We tried to go around the outside, but we read it wrong, and we probably should have gone for a cutback. And yeah, Horvey's gone. We actually get some quite bad traction, so raises my hope a bit. But you can see on lap 28, we're nowhere near. And yeah, we're literally all over the place now. We've got, well, quite marginal on the fuel, so we should be able to burn a bit. But yeah, nowhere near anyone, and Horvey completely dropped us at the end, even so we still have got an 8-point buffer, I think, over him, so it should be fine. But you can see actually careening to the wall, and yeah, just sums up my season really. Just me not getting the traction down, me not really finding the pace, and once again, we're going to actually finish about 30 seconds behind everyone now because of that mistake. And yeah, you can see the tyres, we really pushed them, so probably lap 9 was a better pit window. Again, I've never really had the confidence in qualifying, so I've always gone for well, many laps on one set of tyres, so that never really helps my tyre wear situation. And yeah, we're just going to cross the line. It will be 9th out of 9th as Martin G wins again, so that guy really has a championship chance now heading into the final rounds. Even so, I think Entity does have a stranglehold over the title standings, but Martin has actually won about 5 in a row, so he's done really well. Meanwhile, we're going to cross the line in what will be another eventful race for us, but it's still an uneventful race, but it's probably going to be last again. And yeah, just nothing really to say. I mean, just a lack of pace really, and yeah, just top it all up, we run out of fuel, and yeah, it's basically been a season to forget. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to Brazil because it is my best track. I'm hoping to end with a top 5, but yeah, it's not been a race which I really want to remember. It's probably been my worst race since the humiliation of Japan last season. Now, as we take a look onto the driver's standings, you can see Entity now has quite a commanding lead going into the final round of, what will be 18 points. So, Martin G, even if he wins, Entity only needing 7th or 6th. So, you can see Martin G actually moves into 2nd, just ahead of, on par with Stephanator, and 7 is in 4th, just behind them, 2 points behind them. So, that's looking to be a really intense fight going into the final round. So, yeah, it should be interesting up front. You can see in the constructors as well, we've actually got an interesting fight with Toro Rosso, of course, the 2 THL boys right up our heels now because I've lost Entity, who really scored all the points for us this season. But as we head on to the race standing, Schwalb once again really close to getting the win. He got pole last time out in Japan, but just bottled it really. But now he gets some 2nd place, so he's been really having a strong back end to the season. Entity ever consistent in 3rd, and Martin G once again winning the race. So yeah, it's between Martin G, Entity, Stephanator, and 7 next time out. Should be really interesting to see who comes out on top there. My guess is Entity. He's just too far ahead, really, for anyone to challenge him. But yeah, you can see again, Jaeger actually getting quite a good result in 6th, just behind JCP, who gets 5th. So that should actually boost him some way up the table. And yeah, that's just going to be it for this time. See you next time in Brazil.